Zasalamel was born a member of the tribe that protected the spirit sword, but he broke the commandments of the tribe and was exiled. He learned the secret arts of reincarnation and now lives an eternal life. Over time, however, he lost any sense of joy in life and came to desire a peaceful death. The spirit sword had reappeared and sealed Soul Edge. Zasalamel theorized that when their two powers reached their peak, he might be able to achieve his own death. To revive the cursed sword, he deliberately acted to warp Siegfried's mind and send Nightmare out to devour powerful souls. And now he set his sights upon a new sacrifice, the daughter of Cervantes, who bore deep hatred towards Soul Edge. Zasalamel began to take action. The time to complete his plan was at hand. It was said that, even with full knowledge of her ancestry, the woman sought to destroy Soul Edge. Zasalamel followed her trail and learned that she had obtained a certain book. The book was one he had written himself in the past. It contained the rules and legends of his tribe and everything there was to know about the two swords. That knowledge must not be allowed him to be wrong. He had to erase the mistakes of his past.
She seeks the sword that may be her only salvation.
Yokaro, これも一興だ。
威勢がいいわね。気に入ったわ。
Versus Ivy. Fight! You win!
この程度では話にならんな。
After taking the book from the woman, he studied a flame in his hand. During their battle, he had felt an extraordinarily strong hatred toward the cursed sword from her. It would likely be sufficient to make Siegfried suffer. Zasalamel gave the woman information to lead her Siegfried and then put her mansion behind him. Now that his plan to obtain the two swords had entered its final stage, he needed to nip any potential obstacles in the bud. He had to avoid any last-minute interference. Eliminate knowledge, apparently? It will be problematic for knowledge of Soul Edge to spread any more than necessary. He needed everyone to play out their roles only as he directed. There was a man in the old Spanish capital of Toledo, so I don't know how to pronounce it, who was collecting information about the cursed sword. Zasalamel headed to Toledo to eliminate this threat. He succeeded in setting the man's mansion on fire, but he was seen by a girl who appeared to be acting as a guard.
Determined to save her family, she seeks to destroy the cursed blade.
全力でお相手しよう。
さっさと来なさい。
Versus Cassandra. Fight! You win!
何が違うのか理解できたか？
From the sword and shield in the girl's hands, Zasalamel felt the power of the gods of Olympus. He finally defeated her using all of his power. Didn't seem that on record. Soul Edge had once been shattered by someone with the same power. He had just eliminated a threat even greater than the knowledge possessed by the owner of the mansion. After he left the burning mansion, he headed for the place where he had revived Nightmare, the ruins of Ostransburg Castle.
悪くはないけど目が気に入らない。心なんていらないのに。その力かの剣に見合うかどうか試してやる。
邪険な使いか。私を試そうとは無駄なことを。
versus Tira. Fight! You win!
この程度では話にならんな。
The girl dripped and evil energy slipped away and disappeared. She was likely a servant of the cursed sword. It seemed that the sword was frantically trying to survive. Good. When Soul Edge recovered its power and was revived, the Spirit Sword too would unleash its power to stop it. And at that instant, Zasalamel would be there. So we go for option number 2. Eliminate those with ideas that might interfere with the plan. In addition to those who wished to destroy Soul Edge, there were those he considered dangerous. Those who, knowing full well the sword's true nature, still wished to use its power. The cursed sword's power had been widely dispersed as a result of numerous battles. For a worthless being to gain even a little of that power and wallow in ambition would be nothing more than a waste of the sword's power. Worse than that, it would surely provide an opportunity to those who sought to destroy the cursed sword.
His poisoned blood fuels his rage against the world.
知らぬがゆえの情熱か。くだろう。付け入る隙など与えんよ。
Versus Raphael. Fight! You win!
命運に尽きたら楽にしてやろう。 早めに終わらせるか。
Versus Amy. Fight!
Oh my. Well, hopefully this won't interfere with the
You
crossbar.
lose.
Anyway, Zasalamel continued his secret activities to further his plans, but stopped when his mind began to tremble. The part of his mind that desired death was aching. He had experienced this in echoes of his recent lives. No matter how many times he repeated it, the impending suffering of death terrified him. In order to clear his troubled mind, and focus his mind, he headed to the clock tower that he used whenever he needed to think deeply.
「自ら死を求める脆弱な心」「滑稽だな」そうだ、まだできるではないか。いいだろう。今一度己に問う うてみよう。
versus Zasalamel. Fight!
遊びは終わりだ。
You win!
消えろ。すでに決めたことだ。
Zasalamel brushed away his weakness and further hardened his resolve. It was true that death was a difficult experience, but repeating it endlessly was far worse. Now that he had conquered his own mind, he had no more doubt. He put the clock tower behind him and set out to continue his plan. This would surely be the last time he would visit this place. Where do we go from here? Number 2 again. Continue manipulating a few more factors just in case. Zasalamel's journey to further his plans continued. Upon learning of an organization in the far eastern land that was collecting fragments of soulage, he thought to himself, if the cursed sword were to absorb those fragments, it would recover a significant amount of power. On top of that, if those fragments were to somehow lose their power, it would be a great loss. Zasalamel set out east to obtain the fragments for himself.
Her blade cannot be seen. Her strikes are but flashes in her enemy's eye.
やけどで済めばよいかな。
この命くれてやるわけにはいかん。
Versus Setsuka. Fight!
そこで永遠に転がっていろ。
Zasalamel entered the island nation in which the organization was set to operate and defeated a swordswoman who was searching for soulage. It seemed, however, that this woman had no connection with the group he sought. Afterwards, in an underground temple filled with thick eddies of evil energy, he discovered signs that a fierce battle had taken place. It seemed that two people, both cloaked in evil energy, had clashed here. The evil energy was already gone, and he cursed to himself at the wasteful loss of power that was there fighting.
She raises her swords.
And apparently here I am supposed to win with less than 60% health remaining. Let's hope I don't forget about that.
構えだけは一人前だな。
Versus Taki. Fight!
Exactly as planned.
You win!
死ねるだけ幸せと思え。
The woman who had suddenly attacked him was unexpectedly strong, and while Zasalamel did achieve victory, he was wounded in the process. This woman had probably been the one who had won the battle here earlier. He released the evil energy from the weapon and put this country behind him. Seeking further information, Zasalamel entered India, a land where travelers from both east and west mingled. There he discovered a man with faint evil energy. It might not be much, but it would still serve as a sacrifice to the cursed.
His soul burns violently for vengeance.
裁きの時だ。
面倒なのはごめんだぜ。
versus Maxi. Fight! You win!
まだ息があるのか。しぶといな。
Well, maybe it will be still fine. The time was at hand. Zasalamel's plan was finally reaching its climax. He closed in on the man who carried the two swords. He finally caught up to his target at a cathedral in a remote location. He could feel Nightmare's presence ahead as well. It would appear that the players are all assembled. He passed through the doors. The moment for which he had waited so long was about to arrive.
そこまでだ。都合よく行くと思うなよ。
嗅ぎつけたか。だがもう遅い。
versus Tira. Fight!
Okay.
You
身
lose.
の程知らず。
I'll consider this a failure then.
ソウルキャリバー。
Welcome to the new stage of history.
I did an actual weapon this time.
消え去れ。
Also, it doesn't quite help that this website I'm looking at doesn't actually specify which path is cursed and which is the extra path. So I'll try this exact one once more. Let's see how it goes.
Versus Ivy. Fight! You win! Versus Cassandra. Fight!
負けるか。
Well, the defeating Benny was actually not optional but necessary.
You win!
「悪くはないけど目が気に入らない」「心なんていらないのに」 剣に見合うかどうか試してやる。
邪剣の使いか。私を試そうとは無駄なこと。
versus Tira. Fight. You win.
何が違うのか理解できたか。
Versus Raphael. Fight.
無駄だ。無駄だ。とくと見よ。
You win.
何が違うの。
Versus Amy. Fight.
Well,
You win.
that was
程度では話にならんな。
a complete waste of time. Oh, so far so good in the game.
自ら死を求める脆弱な心。滑稽だな。そうだ、まだできるではないか。いいだろう、今一度己に問うてみよう。
Versus Zasalamel. Fight.
遊びは終わりだ。
You win.
消えろ。すでに決めたことだ。
Her blade cannot be seen.
我が呪いを。
Versus Setsuka. Fight.
果てろ果てろ。遅いザン。
You win.
命運尽きたな。やけどで済めばよい。
Versus Taki. Fight.
The damage on you is too much.
You win.
そこ こで永遠に
So now there should be an option to fight the rank
He
somewhere here.
perceives a demon.
全てを奪い取ってや
Unless the
る
guide I'm following is simply wrong, but I don't think it is.
You win.
何が
Rank
違う
here,
のか
finally.
理解で
So for some reason defeating Amy actually was a requirement. Alright, whatever.
Watched over by the Almighty.
裁きの時だ時代の闇は俺が切る
Versus Fang.
Now another question is how do I actually defeat him? Since he has the Soul God break effect on his weapon.
You win.
And that should be pretty much everything actually. Same as before. And this was an extra path, not a cross path.
そこまでだ
Awesome. So they are written in the opposite order.
To the new stage.
Well, let's find the charm. Let's go with the Zasalamel. Oh, that's the first one.
Versus Ivy. Fight.
Now, surprisingly, we choose option number 1. So let's see what's that all about. Dominate physical fights. College had been destroyed once before, albeit not completely. If by some chance someone existed with the power to completely destroy it, all of Zasalamel's plans would go up in smoke. Zasalamel traveled to an arena where strong fighters gathered. Most of the warriors were not worthy of concern, but there was one who caught his eye. When he learned that this person was seeking Soul Watch, he moved without hesitation to eliminate the man.
His anger is the anger of the earth. His will is the will of nature.
よかろうこれも一挙
Hopefully this time we are on the right path.
全力で来い
Versus Rock. Fight.
Ugh. Being hit by a rope is a better man.
You win.
この程度では話にならんな
After a while, he felt his mind beginning to tremble. The part of his mind that desired death was aching. He had experienced this in each of his... You know, we read this already? No, but here is bottom bar. Yeah, we read it already.
He 自ら死を求める脆弱な心滑稽だな さあ来い運動を渡してやろうこの程度か
Versus Zasalamel. Fight. You win.
すでに決めたことだ。
Grab this. Hurry the revival of the cursed sword and try to complete the plan as soon as possible. He could think of two ways to hurry the revival of the cursed sword. One was to collect additional souls to feed the sword, adding to the one's Nightmare was gathering. The other was more indirect, to eliminate obstacles in Nightmare's path and see that his activities proceed smoothly. Go hunting for souls. Well, Zasalamel hunted, seeking to harvest powerful souls. It seemed that there were many with excellent souls amongst the people who traveled the world in search of soul air. One day he noticed that one of the people he had his eye on had not returned from an island in the Mediterranean Sea. The tomb of a man who had sought soul during his lifetime was on that island. All who went there had been killed by the guardian of the tomb. Allowing further sacrifices to be lost would not be a good idea. Zasalamel headed to the tomb in order to eliminate the guardian.
Now two souls are fiercely entangled.
早めに終わらせるか。早く消えた方がいいぞ。
Versus thief. Fight. Knockout. You win.
この程度では話にならんな。
腕が鳴るわ。
Versus thief. Fight. Knockout. You win.
命運尽きたな。楽にしてやる。
Versus Voldo. Fight. You win.
この程度では話にならんな。
Zasalamel defeated the guardian and decided that his soul was sufficient to feed the sword. It had been an expected catch. He continued searching from land to land, looking for others who might prove to be obstacles to his plan. Upon hearing rumors of a black giant rampaging in Persia, Zasalamel entered the desert. He sensed a faint evil energy in the area. It was probably connected with his incident.
Versus Astaroth. Fight.
What is the hitbox on this?
You win.
中途半端に頑丈だな。苦しかろうて。
Well, just keep on pressing down the button. Zasalamel recovered a fragment of soul from inside the giant's body. It would be foolish to allow evil energy to be wasted in such a way. He headed further east. The great eastern empire of Link had been searching for Soul Edge for many years now. They probably weren't close to finding it, but they must have wanted some kind of information. And it was possible that information was a fragment.
Her graceful sword dance grows ever purer, ever stronger.
知らぬがゆえの情熱か。くだらん。
覚悟してもらうわ。
Versus Xianghua. Fight!
終わりよ。
遊びは終わりだ。それ
You win!
そこで永遠に転がっていろ。
Zasalamel defeated the guards and began searching for the information that Wing had gathered. He succeeded in finding what he sought and left the place before the commotion spread. Zasalamel studied the information and discovered a report about a particular warrior. This man was publicly declaring that he would destroy Soul Edge. Just who was this man? Normally such a claim would be laughable, but something about it bothered him. And we ignore the... Oh, we do not go to the library? Oh. As he continued his travels based on the information he had obtained, Zasalamel heard rumors of a young man who was purifying lands tainted with evil. It seemed it was the one he had warned previously. The young man had not learned his lesson. Now that Zasalamel's plan was proceeding, this boy could only be considered an obstacle. Zasalamel decided to eliminate him. To be young was to be ignorant and foolhardy. In the boy's actions, Zasalamel saw emotions that he had forgotten long ago.
Once again, he enters the vortex of evil.
Gender should be miser, then secret should win, and I still have no idea where the curse is supposed to come into play.
Versus Keeling.
Maybe it just straight up doesn't exist for Zasalamel. It's so needlessly confusing.
You win!
何が違うのか理解できたか。
This time Zasalamel did more than give a warning. After eliminating the threat, Zasalamel once more headed west and noticed that nearby evil energy had suddenly disappeared. The energy that had disappeared had been extremely weak, but it still concerned him. Anything that could purify evil was a threat to Zasalamel. In a ruined city, Zasalamel encountered a girl. He was surprised to see that she possessed the power of purification.
To appease the winds,
Also,
the
there will be
priestess
miser.
rises to the challenge.
やけどで済めばよいかな。
戦いでしか伝えられないこともあるから。
Versus Talon. Fight! You win!
この程度では話にならん。
A hero desires a soul.
全てを奪い取ってやる。
邪魔なんだよ。
Versus Miser. Fight!
Stop being powerful. So either this is the cursed path, or the cursed path was the first one that Zasalamel didn't get cursed. I really don't know anymore. The time was at hand, Zasalamel's plans finally reaching its climax. He closed in on the man who carried the two swords. He finally caught up to his very delicate figure in a remote location. He could feel Nightmare's presence ahead as well. It would appear that the players are all assembled. He passed through the doors. The moment was for which he had waited, for someone was about to arrive.
そこまでだ。都合よく行くと思うなよ。
嗅ぎつけたか。だがもう遅い。
Versus
I am thoroughly confused and I simply don't care anymore. Let's just get this over with.
You win. その主もすぐにそっちへ送ってやる。
It's been an attempt to buy time, not even turning to look at the bars that fell behind him, even though he did. Zasalamel continues forward. Nightmare and Siegfried were fighting. From the sounds that he caught through the corridor, the battle was apparently fierce. He didn't care who survived, for the victor was fated to fall to Zasalamel.
versus Siegfried. Fight!
You win! これで何もかもが終わるのだ。私の望みが間もなく叶うのだ。これは。おとなしく我が手に収まれ。手間をかけさせるな。
versus Abyss. Fight!
You win! 命運尽きたら楽にしてやろう。
Well, attend one of his 3 attempts on the cursed path until the
呪いは解かれ、私は永遠の生から解放された。私はこの残りの余生をどう使うべきだろうかと考えた。私はこれまでの人生を後世に伝えるべく多くの本を書き記した。全てを終えた今、あとはその時を待つばかりだ。
The legend will never die.
Goodbye.